welcome back to my channel. I am back with another review. This review is for Jersey Shore Family Vacation Season 6, Episode 19. So if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Listen, I was super excited to watch this episode because Sam makes her big return. And so let's just get right into this review. Mike ends up getting everybody together and inviting them on a trip to Pennsylvania because he wants everybody to come together and work out their issues. There was a lot of drama that took place at the end of last season, and Mike was a part of the drama because he went back and told something that he wasn't supposed to go back and tell. What happened was they had went on a group trip to New Orleans, and during that trip to New Orleans, Angelina ended up inviting her new boyfriend, Vinny. Now, nobody knew that she was in a serious relationship with Vinny because she had told the girls that they weren't really serious with each other. They didn't even call each other boyfriend and girlfriend. She said that they were just dating at the moment, and so the girls really didn't think it was a serious relationship. Now, they ended up going to a birthday dinner to celebrate Vinny, and during the dinner, Angelina's new boyfriend ended up getting on one knee and proposing to her. Now, everybody was surprised and shocked by this because they literally just met this guy the day before, and the day before when they met him, they were burning Angelina's dress and having a whole divorce party. So they were really shocked and surprised at the fact that he was proposing. Now, Angelina and Jenny already have issues with each other. I don't think that they really like each other. I think they just tolerate one another at this point. But Angelina said that she took a scan of the room and she saw that everybody else was happy for her except for Jenny and Zach. Now, everybody was kind of confused as to why she had singled out Jenny and Zach because everybody in the group was surprised. Paulie was yelling at the top of his lungs that they just met him yesterday, and the guys kept talking about how they just burnt the dress the previous night. So everybody was confused as to why she only singled out Jenny, but I wasn't surprised as to why she singled out Jenny. She singled out Jenny because she already has an issue with her, and so obviously that's the person who she's going to feel like is not happy for her. Although I don't understand why Angelina would care if any of them were happy for her or not. As long as she is happy at the fact that she got engaged, I don't think she should care. And then on top of that, her and Jenny don't really consider each other friends, so I just don't understand why she would care if Jenny would be happy for her or not. But apparently, Jenny and Zach were asking some questions at the dinner table that Angelina felt were inappropriate. They were asking how long he had the ring for, how long they've been together, and making a little bit of jokes at the table. Now, I do think that Jenny and Zach shouldn't have been asking those questions at that moment, and I also think that they shouldn't have been joking around because obviously Angelina gets really sensitive at times and she gets offended really easily. So I just think that they probably shouldn't have done that, especially not Jenny because there's already issues between Angelina and her. But I still think that Angelina really did overreact and she just likes the drama. Angelina ended up confiding in Mike, telling him that she felt some type of way about Jenny and Zach and the way that they were acting towards her being engaged. She felt like Jenny wasn't happy for her, and she did tell Mike not to go back and tell Jenny or any of the other roommates what she was saying. But everybody knows that Mike can't hold water. He can't keep a secret to save his life, so I don't understand why she would confide in him. And that makes me wonder if she knew that it was going to get back to Jenny, and that's the reason why she told Mike of all people, because you have to know that Mike is not going to keep a secret. Everybody knows that by now, and so it makes me think that she wanted it to get back to Jenny in that way, which I do feel like if she had a problem with Jenny, she should have addressed Jenny. Instead of pulling Mike aside to have a conversation, she should have pulled Jenny aside and had a conversation with her about it, and I feel like that's the reason why it got blown up to something bigger than it needed to be. Now, when Mike goes back and tells Jenny, she gets extremely emotional, and I feel like she got emotional because she's tired of being the bad guy when it comes to Angelina, because a lot of fans do attack the other girls whenever they get into it with Angelina, especially when it came to that whole speech situation. And so I feel like Jenny got nervous that the whole thing of the way that social media was reacting to the speech was going to happen to her again because Angelina felt like she wasn't happy for her. At the reunion, when Angelina and Jenny were talking about this whole situation, Dina ended up inserting herself into the conversation, and so Angelina got pissed off because she felt like Dina was raising her voice, and so she stood up and she started yelling and pointing in Dina's direction. She took a couple of steps forward, but she still had ways to go before she got to Dina. Now, I don't think that she was trying to fight Dina, but I do feel like Angelina was being too aggressive in that situation because I don't feel like she should have jumped up out of her seat and like started walking towards where Dina was sitting, because it was just unnecessary for her to do, because Dina was sitting down. Dina wasn't trying to fight her. I do understand why Angelina gets defensive, because she does know that, you know, the bond that everybody else has within the group is not the same bond that they have with her. And I do kind of feel some sympathy for her because of that, because I do feel like she feels like the oddball out. But I also feel like sometimes she makes herself the oddball out too, because when you watch this reunion, you'll think one thing, but they all ended up doing an interview after this reunion, and they said that they had all partied with each other the night before they ended up doing the reunion, and so everybody thought everything was cool because they had talked the situation out. But then when they got on the reunion, Angelina started turning up on Dina, and it just turned into a whole hot mess. So that's the reason why there's so much drama going into this trip in this episode. Angelina felt like she needed an ally. She needed somebody that was there with her, that understands the experience, and that she can have on her side, because she feels like the meatballs always take Jenny's side. So she ended up DMing Sammi and asking her if she would come back to the show. And Sammi actually ended up meeting up with Angelina, and they talked about everything that was going on. Angelina caught Sammi up on everything, and Sammi decided that she wanted to come on the trip. So they went on the trip in groups, okay? So Dina, Jenny, and Snooki went together to go to Pennsylvania to head to the trip. Paulie is going by himself because he had to fly from Las Vegas. Mike and Vinny are going together, and so Angelina and Sam end up coming together because Angelina is keeping Sammi coming as a secret, because that's what Sammi wanted. On the way to Pennsylvania to surprise the roomies, Angelina was talking Sammy's head off. I mean, you could tell that Sammi wanted to get the hell out of that car, because Angelina would just not stop talking. She went from talking about the drama that she had with the girls in the house to yelling and screaming at other cars on the road. It was just a lot to deal with. And Angelina was really making it obvious while she was having this conversation with Sammi that the reason why she wanted Sammi to come on the trip is because she needed somebody to be on her side, because she feels like Snooki and Dina take Jenny's side all the time. And so she was kind of trying to play off of the drama that Sammi has with the other ladies, because Sammi has her own problems with the other girls, and that's the reason why Angelina wanted her to come, is because she knows that, you know, Sammi has a problem with them too. So she feels like she has an ally now. But Sammi made it really clear in her confessional, and also to Angelina, which I like. I like that Sammi is straightforward. She told Angelina that she is not a part of any of the drama that Angelina has with the other girls, that she has her own issues with them that she needs to resolve. And you can tell Angelina did not like hearing that. For the first time, the girls finally made it to a trip before the guys got there. If you watch Jersey Shore from the beginning, when they went on the trip to Miami, the girls ended up getting there last. And then when you watch the Italy season, the guys ended up getting there first once again. And so this time the ladies beat them to the punch, and they were able to pick their rooms first. And Jenny ended up picking the master bedroom, which was supposed to be for Mike, because Mike is the one who put the whole trip together. But Jenny was not budging, because she said that the last time they went on the trip, she got the worst room and she dealt with it. And so you could tell throughout this episode, every time Jenny ended up mentioning that she had the bigger room in the house, that Mike was upset about it. Mike would make this funny face every time that was mentioned, and I thought that was really funny. When it was just Vinny, Mike, Dina, Jenny, and Nicole at the house, they were all cooking dinner, waiting for Paulie and Angelina to arrive, and Sammy's name does end up getting brought up. Her name gets brought up a lot on the show because they kind of make a joke about her showing up, even though they don't believe that she ever would. And Snooki was talking about how she got blocked, and that she thinks she got blocked because she opened up that store in Seaside, and, you know, Sammi felt some type of way about it, and she said that she thought it was stupid that Sammi blocked her for something like that, and she said that Sammi was not a girl's girl. So people kind of blew up that little conversation that the girls had before Sammi got there into something bigger than it was. I don't think that they said anything that was that big of a deal, to be honest with you, and so I just didn't feel like it was that big of a deal. But I did think that it was kind of ironic that they were talking about her, and she ends up walking in the door a few minutes later. When Angelina and Sammi arrived at the resort, I got really nervous but also really excited, because I've been watching the show for a really long time. So to see her finally decide to join the cast again, I was nervous for her but really excited at the same time. You could feel her nervousness through the TV, because you could tell that she was scared to go inside, and she did say that she was nervous that they wouldn't want her back because of all the time that she said that she would never come back to the show. Now, once she opens the door and she says, "Sorry, I'm late," she ends up walking in and their mouths drop. I mean, their mouths drop to the floor. And they would not speak for like a good 10 seconds. I was like, oh my God, they're so friggin' quiet. And then once they just were able to snap back into reality, they realized that Sammi actually was there. And the girls got really emotional and started hugging Sammi because they just did not think that she would ever come back. And I know that some people, because I did read some of the comments, some people felt like the girls weren't being genuine when they cried and hugged Sammi, but I do feel like they were being genuine. I feel like they were really hurt at the fact that she didn't want to come back to the show, and I feel like they were really hurt that she blocked them, because that means that not only does she want anything to do with the show, but she doesn't want anything to do with them too. So I felt like the tears were really genuine, and I felt like Sammi was surprised at the response that she got from the girls, because she probably didn't think that they were going to embrace her the way that they did. Now, I do like that Sammi didn't beat around the bush and she immediately addressed the girls and whatever issues that they have with each other. She wanted to get it over with really quickly, and I'm glad that she did, because she ended up addressing Nicole first, and she told Nicole that the reason why she blocked her is because after she opened up her store on the beach, she saw that Nicole was opening up one of her stores on the beach as well, and she felt like that was like a slide to her, and so that's the reason why she felt some type of way about Nicole, and she ended up blocking her. Now, Nicole was confused as to why she got blocked because of that, because she didn't do it to compete with Sammi. She had already had 2 other stores open to begin with, and honestly, I think it was petty for Sammi to block Nicole because of that, because not only was that the 3rd store that Nicole opened, but if you look up the stores and you see the distance between Sammi's store and Nicole's store, they're literally like an hour and a half apart, because Sammi's store is not in Seaside. Okay, that's where Nicole's store is at. Sammi's is not. So if you look up the distance between where their stores are, they're literally like an hour and a half apart. And so I just don't understand why Sammi felt like that was competition to her. Maybe she felt like because Nicole has more fans than she does, that she probably thought that Nicole was doing it to compete with her, and that's probably why she blocked her. Nicole and Sammi were able to squash it because Sammi apologized to Nicole and did admit that it was petty for her to block her for something stupid like that. And Nicole did apologize if she made Sam feel like she was trying to compete with her, because that wasn't her intentions. And so they were able to hug it out and let the situation go, which Angelina was pissed. Angelina was pissed off when Snooki and Sammi were able to squash their beef and work out their differences, because she wanted there to be drama between Sammi and the other ladies, because she still has drama with them. So she was pissed off about that. Sammi ends up addressing Dina next, because she did end up telling Angelina in the car that she was the most hurt by Dina, because they were really close after the show ended up filming. And then once Dina started filming Jersey Shore Family Vacation, that's when Dina kind of stopped replying to her text messages and stopped inviting her to things. And so Sammi ended up blocking her because she told Dina that she wasn't going to chase her. And so she told Dina that she felt some type of way about that. And Dina did apologize. She did say that she did kind of fall back a little bit when she started filming the show, because that's when she ended up moving into a new house. She ended up getting pregnant, and she just had a lot on her plate. And so she did admit that she was wrong for not, keeping Sammi in the loop with her and not staying in contact. And so I like that the two of them were able to make up, because that happens a lot in adult friendships. Your lives kind of take different turns, and sometimes you're not able to hang out as much, and you lose track of each other. So I do think that they handled this situation really maturely, and they were able to hug it out. And once again, Angelina was pissed off. She was so mad that Dina and Sammi were able to make up with one another. She definitely felt some type of way about it, and she said it. Last but not least, Sammi ended up addressing her issues with Jenny, because a couple of weeks before they went on this particular vacation, Jenny and Nicole ended up going on a podcast, and during the podcast interview, the host ended up asking Jenny if Sammi was coming back to the show. Now, the cast gets tired of being asked about Sam, because Sam said that she didn't want to be a part of the show at all. And so Jenny basically told the podcast host that she didn't want to talk about Sam. And then she said that she was surprised when she was on TikTok and she saw that Sammi had commented something nice about the show on a TikTok post. And so she was confused by that because Sammi keeps on saying that she doesn't want anything to do with the show. So Sammi felt some type of way about that, rightfully so. And she told Jenny that she should be able to comment on the show anytime she wants to because it was a part of her life and she was a part of the show too. And she told Jenny that the reason why she didn't come back is because she wanted to make sure she was in a good place, and she didn't want to film with Ron at the time because she wasn't really in a good place enough to be in the same room with him. So Jenny understood where she was coming from and understood how toxic it was for Sam, and so she understood why Sam didn't want to be a part of the show. But Jenny did tell Sam that some of them felt like the reason why Sam didn't want to come back to the show is because she didn't want anything to do with them. And so Sammi made it clear that it didn't have anything to do with the cast. It had everything to do with her. And so her and Jenny were able to make up. Now, Angelina was fuming when she saw that Jenny and Sammi were able to make up because that's the person who she has the most issues with. And so she was hoping that Sammi and Jenny wouldn't make up and that they would be into some drama because she wanted to see somebody else go at Jenny because she said that the meatballs never come for Jenny. Angelina was trying to say that the girls only made up with Sam as calmly as they did, and it didn't turn into anything bigger because it was Sam, and if it was her, things would have went completely differently. And I believe that things went differently with Sam than it does with her because Sam approached them directly. Sam didn't beat around the bush. She didn't go tell it to somebody else in the group and then it gets back to the girls in a different way. That's not the way that she did it, and that's usually the way Angelina handles things, so that's why it didn't turn the way that she thought it was going to turn into. On top of that, nobody cut each other off. Everybody was able to speak their piece and nobody got defensive and got bent out of shape. And usually Angelina gets really bent out of shape when she's having a back and forth with one of the girls. And I can kind of understand why she feels that way. She feels a little bit left out because, you know, she did leave the show twice, so everybody built a bond without her. And then on top of that, the last time she left the show, she didn't really leave on good terms with everybody. So you could tell that she feels a little bit out of place with them because she feels like she doesn't have the same bond. But she needs to let that go because honestly, a lot of the drama that she has surrounding her, she brings it on herself. At the very end of this episode, they decide to try to prank Paulie because Paulie tried to prank them with the Sam doll a few years ago when they first returned to Jersey Shore family vacation. And so they decided to do the same with him, but with the real Sam. So they made Sam get down on the floor on all fours, and she said she did not want to be on the floor like that. But Paulie comes in, he's joking around too much. He has that blowhorn that's repeating everything he says, so they can't say their little code word, lasagna. Lasagna is the code word that they came up with so that Sammi could pop up as soon as they say it. So when Paulie finally shut the hell up, they said lasagna, and Sammi popped her head up. And, you know, Paulie had the best reaction because he was extremely surprised, and I just thought that it was really funny. It was really nice to see Sam come back, especially for people who watched the show when it first came out. It's really nice to see that they're all back together, and honestly, I got a little bit choked up a couple of times. But let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you all. And until next time, I will talk to you guys in my next video.